going to depth of explanation, but try to understand a very easy way of about a classes and all. First of all, oops. First of all, thing is oops. Oops is object oriented programming software or whatever it is. But OOP means object oriented programming language, software, application kind of stuff. Mainly your C++, Java, Python, okay, .NET, C#.NET, like that. These are all also comes under OOPs only, including .NET. So the .NET is also OOPs kind of concept. So different type of .NETs are there. Again, in a .NET, not a single .NET it is. So okay, in the .NET, it is not single .NET. It is a C#.NET, VB.NET. Lots of different .NETs are there. So basically, the .NET is also comes under object-oriented programming language. Of course, PowerShell is also object-oriented programming languages. So what is this object-oriented programming languages? Very simply say, it is having 5 things. One is class and objects. Everything is defined under classes. Everything is a class object. Everything is object, and every objects, all objects are defined. Okay, in under classes. Okay, so class and object or objects. So first part of your object-oriented programming languages. Okay, and there is a 4 main OOPS concepts are there. So like a encapsulation, polymorphism, how to copy paste kind of stuff. I want to do it. Okay. Oops. Okay. So object oriented programming is a object which contains the data in a code. I will explain that kind of stuff, but OOPS concept is a very important one. Okay. So what is the OOPS and what is the use of OOPS? What is the object? What is class? Kind of examples are given here. Important. Yeah, here we will go. 4 basics of OOPS: abstraction, encapsulation, inheritance, polymorphism. Okay, guys, there are. This is another one. Abstraction, encapsulation, inheritance. People who are belongs to CSA and IT candidates, compulsory OOPS are very, very important for your interview. Okay, abstraction, encapsulation, inheritance, and polymorphism. At least give one definition for each thing. What it is, what is what. Very simple, guys. Encapsulation, it means you put your class files, means your data, everything. And what it is?
Winding up data in a single unit.
Yes. Yeah. You put everything into one single unit. People give an example is like your capsule. Okay. You put everything, different things into one single capsule. That is a encapsulation. So that is one example they give. So different binding different thing into one unit. Okay. So that is encapsulation kind of stuff. Like you write a different program, like it's a main program, servlets, or HTML, or different files. We link each other and we keep it as one. So that is defined as a one under one kind of stuff. What is one package? one package, that is an encapsulation. Okay. Inheritance means I define a class. This is my parent class. Okay, this is my parent class, and this is my child class. Just for example, understanding only, parent having certain kind of parameters, some information is there. Okay, for example, A, B is belongs to parent, something like a parameters or some information or kind of stuff. Okay, AB is belongs to parent. So child is also will get this AB from the parent, from parent. Okay, okay. So it's a class is, for example, class name is so what we can say, class name is my uh, parent class, my child class. It's a class name, just a class name only. Okay, so whenever you say this is the parent class, you have to get the like this. So obviously you'll get all the parameters of parent to the child. Okay, inherit means the properties of parent will come to the child, right? Not everything, or maybe some. Everything or maybe some depends upon the child. Depends upon the child how to access. That is called a inheritance. That is called a inheritance. Polymorphism. Polymorphism is like a different places, different behavior or different properties. Okay, different places, different situations, a object having a different properties. For example, people say duck typing. So like this is one of the polymorphism. The first thing to understand polymorphism is that duck typing. Duck. Okay. What is the duck? Okay. We'll I will take some parameters. I will specify in when duck is in water, what it will do? It swims. Okay, so it swims. It's a property. So a duck, when it is in the water, it swims. Okay, and it drinks water, or it will do kind of stuff, right? So if on earth, on land, it walks. It walks. In another parameters, how it is duck look. Okay, so in waters, the legs found visible, right? In legs weren't visible. In a land, legs are visible, or like a it is a color you can define in a different ways. Like I see shape of the duck, or a nose of the duck, or maybe color of the duck, wings of the duck, whether it is duck is a bird, so bird can fly and not fly, like this is the different type of parameters. So but everything is a duck only, but in a different places, different type of parameters or properties are there. So that is called a duck typing, and a simple example for a polymorphism. Morphism means behavior, poly means multi behavior. Different places, different behavior. I'm in a classroom, I'm a trainer, now I can teach, right? I'm an employee of 70s. I am child to my parents. So it's the same person, but different properties, different duties, different works, different behaviors are there, right? I behave with you in a one way. I behave with Madhu sir and Sai sir in different ways. So my behavior means like here I'm teaching to you. I don't teach Sai sir, right? So like that's the kind of stuff. Uh, Guys, anybody help with abstraction? Usually I don't mind about abstraction. That's why I usually forget about the abstraction. And in a Python, abstraction is
Hiding internal data. Sir. Hiding internal details and showing functionals is known as abstraction.
Very good. Yeah. So that's I got it. Okay. So when you write a program, lot of things are there, but when it is doing execution and showing output kind of stuff, it only shows main things only. Not every process not required to show on the screen. Okay, that is called a abstraction. It is a process of taking away or removing characters from something in order to reduce to set of essential characters. No. You told one is correct. Okay,
Yes, sir.
guys.
When we are googling, many process done
Yeah,
backward,
Google
but
will tell
will
you
show.
different answers.
Uh,
Okay,
but the
so the
output will
answer
show
is
some.
what you told. That is correct. Yeah, right. Okay, guys, what I'm trying to say for oops, people who are not familiar or forget, or people who are want to discuss once, right? You can create a separate group one day or a Sunday or Monday. Just sit together, discuss about a oops concept. So so we don't have a lack of time, and also I don't have uh, not very good knowledge about a oops also. Because statements I don't understand. I can understand program, but not the statements. Okay. I will tell only one thing is first one is classes and objects only. How to define a classes and what is a object here. So just I'm trying to explain the class and object here. Okay. Even though in the materials there is this is the class, this is object, but when you write a program, everything will be changes. Okay. So this is the class. See, fruit is a class. Different type of fruits: apple, banana, mango. So this is one of the example of class and objects. Other example: cars, Volvo, Audi, Toyota. Okay. So these are the examples for understanding class and objects. Just I took a small point from here. That's it. Okay. So here it is. Classes and objects are two aspects of object-oriented programming language. See, one line is completely killed. Okay. Look at the following illustration to see the difference between classes and objects. Database. So, the class. And what is the object? Apple,
Any entity having
banana, mango, like this. It is their type only. So, very simply say it's a type only. Okay. It's a simply say it's a their type only. You can take another example. Okay. So car. Models. Like that's a different things. So class is a template of objects. So class is a template of object and object is an instance of the class. So this is a good statement. Class is a template of object and an object is instance of class. When individual objects are created, they inherited all variables and methods from the classes. So first of all, we'll define a class in a Python way and we'll see it. Okay. So here it is, Python way of classes. So look at here, how to define a class. Even the like a same thing, it's like your functions. Same like your functions. If you call the class, then only it will work. Okay, you define anything under class, but you have to call for it. And there is little changes, little confusion is there for a newly learning people. Of course, Python is a object-oriented programming language. Almost everything Python is an object with its properties and methods. Class is like an object constructor or a blueprint for creating a objects. Okay, so everything definitions only. Important is we can understand by how to create a classes. Okay, so then how to call the classes also, that is we'll take care. So this is define a class with a keyword is class, and how to create an object is like this. So you create a class, so not simply you call the class, it is simply you create an object. See, it is P1 is an object, my class is a class, P1 is an object, this is a parameters inside. Okay, so same thing we will implement first, and we'll do it any other thing. Okay,
खाली केला आहे मी दाखवायच नाही म्हणजे ते LED घेतला ना आलाच घेतला हा त्याच्यातच राहू दे तो काश्मीर
people are asking doubt or talking, so something is open. Okay, no problem. Okay, so whatever it is showing there. So same only, we'll try first and we'll change it. Okay, so this is I defined a class. So nothing is no output here. You have to create an object. So I'm creating an object P1 is equal to my class. That's it. So I'm no parameters. I took P1. So whatever the things mentioned in the my class is now belongs to P1. Is now belongs to P1. That's it. Now I'm printing P1 dot x. Now it is P1 dot x value is displaying. What about I put a y? Y is equal to 10. And it is displaying only 5 value. Why? Because of I didn't call that P1. P1 dot y. Now that is y. Okay. Also you can type here also, there are few things. Okay. So here it is. It's a simple thing. So this is my class. 2 arguments are there, and P1 take 2 arguments to it. And while I'm printing, so I'm printing with the things. You can see variable x, a variable y. Okay. So P1 dot x means this value. Okay. Got the point, guys? Same thing only. I added one more extra. Okay, one more extra. Of course, we'll do further development. So here it is, init function. Init function is like a main function. So when you write a C program or Java program, so when you define void main, means it is a first function in the first execution. When you execute a program, it will execute first loading one is your main function, right? Same thing in a Python, it is a init functions. Examples are class and objects in the simplest form. They are not really useful in real life. Okay, so that's what I am doing here. It is not. So it is also a very big block kind of stuff. Understand meaning of classes. We have understand built-in class. This is a built-in function. Is init function is there. All classes have a function called init, which is always executed when class is being initiated. Okay, when a class is initiated, so it will be executed first. function assign value, object properties, other operations necessary to be created. So whatsoever it is, we'll take up to an example, including note. The object methods will go later. So first of all, yes, tomorrow is a holiday, day after tomorrow is also. So don't waste your time. Practice. What are all the pendings, including Python. Okay. If you want a PowerShell also videos are available. So try yourself. That is okay. When you have a time, then I will define. So here it is. I'm defining a class. So I want to do something with my class kind of stuff. Anything. Okay. Just I defined my class. Now I defining a init function. Okay. So obviously it will tell like this. So don't worry. Remove these things. Okay. So here it is. I want to give two parameters. I'm putting M1, M2. How many people are like M1, M2 subjects in your engineering? How many people are like M1, M2 subjects? For me, I don't mind. I'm a diploma candidate. So when I enter into the engineering, M1, M2 is already completed. Okay. So I took a two parameters M1 and M2 in this particular function. What is this self dot? This is like a self type, means I am giving some values like itself kind of values inside. Okay, you can tell ABCD also instead of self, you can type ABCD also. Okay, so we'll discuss that one later. So print self dot M1 comma self dot M2. Okay, because we pass a lot of different type of parameters here, so we'll do it. So first object is P1, class is defined, function is defined. So now it is P1, my math, and I'm passing two parameters. First one is M1, second one is M2. So M1 I got a 45 and 55 for example. Now print P1 dot M1 only. What will happen? We'll see. So okay, when you call a function, so okay, so this is a object. So in this object, it is constructed with what to do with this function by the class. So 45, 55, M1, M2, and print M1, M2. And next I call this function, so print only M1. So now I made this one as a comment. Then you can try once again. Only these values. Okay. You can call this one like a try like this. You will get error. Okay. You can specify return value also. Here it is return. Return is like self dot M1 plus self dot M2. You can use a print statement inside. Also, you can use if you want a print statement. Otherwise, no. Why it is showing like this? where is the mistake is happened here? Nothing is changed, no, so nothing has changed. Okay. So when I given return statement, it is good. Okay, so maybe yes. Try this one, but it is under this one only. There it is printed 100. Okay, like you can put a return statement under this one also. Return statement. So you can add things like M1 and M2. Okay, like this. So M1, M2 is okay, like this 45, 55. Okay, and also I given M1 plus M2. Here it is M1 plus M2. Or you can define a lambda function, that's also no problem. You can define. This is M1 value. You can put a multiple things. I put a two things, two objects, my map. Okay, this time I put a 66 and 70. Okay, and here it is. I'm printing only P2 dot M2, not M1. So which one you want it? That specifically you can get it objects. So this is a one example. This is a one example of a program with a init function. With a init function, and also you can copy. I step by step I didn't copy it, so I copied everything. So guys, you have to implement by step by step. Okay, so slowly you have to implement. Here it is. I define my class, and I define a main function like a init function here, and I specified parameters. So and I created a object to my class, and I define parameters. So then parameters are passes through this function and do as I told. Okay, and here it is. I'm calling these objects with the parameter like a p1 dot m1, p1 dot m1, p2 dot m2, like this. Are multiple things you can able to do it, like a p1 dot m1, p2 dot m1, average, which is high. You can write that kind of functions also. You can write it also, like here. No. So I will implement something like here it is. If p1 dot m1 is greater than p2 dot m1, okay, means print p1 is great, else print p2 is great. Okay, so this kind of stuff I'm trying to do this. Okay, so we'll try once. So you can see this m1 m2 M1, M2, and there is a other like totally. First P1 output, P1, P2, P2s, and this is P2 is great. P2 is great when compared to M1 wise. When compared to M1 wise. Okay. So like this also you can able to implement P1 marks and P2 marks. Okay. So this one is also you can implement inside of some other function, or you can use it in a separate block. And this is a new implementation, guys. Okay with this one, right? See, understand? So this is two objects are there. So P1 45, 55, P2 66, 70. Okay. So I'm comparing P1 M1 to P2 M1. So when I'm comparing, so obviously it is coming like this. Also you can find the average, okay, average kind of stuff, subtraction kind of stuff, multiplication, average value, return average kind of stuff we can able to define. So this is a basic function defining, guys, and a multiple functions you can able to do it like this. Okay. This is object methods. The self represent current class. The self represent current class. So in a starting time, it is look like everything is a confusion, but still it is you have to practice and do it and give the 2 days gap, again do it like that. So today you do it, give 1 day gap and do it again, give the 2 days gap and do it, so you don't forget anything. Okay. So classes, this is two functions are defined under same class. So like that, multiple functions you can define it under single class, and in single script or a single file you can define multiple classes also. Multiple classes also you can define under single class. You can define multiple functions. This is init function, and generally it will be initiated when you initiate a object. Okay, so first persons, and first it will go to init only, and also you can define different functions inside of it. That is the first one. The second one is self parameter. The self parameter is a reference to current instance of the class, and it is used to access variable belong to the this particular class only. If you don't want this self, you can change it to different thing. So here it is, he added one more function, so we'll see that one. Currently I'm removing this return. Okay, so because my page become is very bigger. Okay, so my avg, I created a function. Yes. Okay, so then specify self means which is the parameters are belongs to it. Print average of, print average of average marks. Okay. So what I'm doing is self dot m1 plus self dot m2. How to put an average? So number of elements by 2, right? So like, so like this, right? So what I'm trying to do is P1 dot my AVG. Okay, so I'm calling this particular function here. I'm calling this particular function here. Okay, so P1 dot my AVG. So my AVG will go to here. Okay, this particular function, and it do this match and display the output. So that is I'm doing here. So execute. See, it is average marks. P1 average marks. You want the P2 average marks? P2 dot my AVG like this. P2 AVG. Or you can put this thing into the print statement also. You can put it in the print statement. It is already print statement is given like that. Okay. But if you want like average marks for a P1, average marks for P2, then you have to tell in a here only. Okay, you can't tell there. Okay, so this is you can define multiple functions in the single class. Okay, that single class. So that is like a object methods. So I created a different functions in this one. Okay, this is already there, so I'm not changing it. If you want to, you can remove this one and keep this one. Okay, this is completely depends upon you how you write a part. That is very important. Okay. So this is how output is generated. Okay. So here in this one, he explained instead of self, if you want to put any other thing, self parameter is reference to the current instance of class and is used to access variable that belongs to classes. It does not have to be named self. You can call it whatever you like, but it has to be first parameter of any function in the class. First parameter of any function in the class. So like this. Okay. Okay. So like this, it is given. So it is a different name like this, and it is also different name. It is a different. It is specified ABC here. It is something my silly object, but still when you are my function, then it is abcd dot name, and again, what is the name? Take it, and it will display. Okay, so it is not a rule like you have to use self here kind of stuff. It is not like not required. Okay. Modify object properties, delete objects, pass statement. So then it will be finished, and I will tell you inheritance of the classes. Oh no, we don't have a time. Then yeah, go to self point. So then I will jump from here. Try this with different objects. Okay, different kind of stuff. Sorry, different initiations, and try yourself. So mine is done. So like this. Okay, so you can modify the parameters. Modify the parameters. Also, we can able to do it, guys. The value is changed here. Now I'll go to this. My average is there. Here it is. P1 45, 55. Okay, 45 is lesser than 56, right? So what I'm getting, P2 is great. I'm getting P2 is great. What I'm doing is P1 dot M1 equal to 95. 96. Okay. So look at here. What will happen? So look at the output. M1 and M2 for P1. P2 66, 70 for M1 and M2. P1 is great. How P1 is great? How P1 is great? M1 value is changed. Value is changed. And the average value is also different. So earlier the average is 70. Now it is 75.5. Okay. So look at here. So print P1 dot M1 comma P1 dot M2. Sorry, dot M2. So just look at here. This value is changed. So this is a modifying parameters. Modifying parameters. Okay. Also we can delete it. We can delete some parameters. So we can also modifying, and also we can delete an object properties like this. We can delete object properties. Okay. So what will happen if you delete it? Initially you're given information here, so you given information, but later you delete. So that's the point, right? You can later you are deleting. Okay, here it is. I want to delete or modify the name or like that. It is there, no? So so del p2 dot m2. I'm deleting p2 dot m2. Now I'm done. It may throw error, so it is throwing an error. So up to average, it is came up to here. It is came. If you look at the output, it came. But here it is. It's throwing an error. Okay. So p2 dot my average like this. M2. This is missing. This is missing. So otherwise, I will remove this one and put it here. So delete m.2. Then I put a print p1 dot m. Sorry, p2 dot m1 comma p2 dot m1 m1 m2. Okay. So everything is fine up to here, but last one is it is throwing error at here because of m2 is missing. M2 is missing because you deleted a parameter. You can modify or delete. Okay. So like this, you can modify a parameter or you can delete a parameter is there. So you can put a hashtag here, hashtag modify m1 value to 96. Hashtag delete m2 value from p2 p1. Okay. So if you execute before you implementing delete, you have to execute it. Okay. So then take the entire output, copy, and is your output. Okay. So this is about your classes and stuff. This is entire deleting an object. You can delete entire object also possible. Pass statement. Okay, so pass statement. Guys, whenever if an interviewer is asking a question, so what is the question? It is, what are the things you learn in a Python? So what are the things you learn in a Python? So first of all, installation of Python. Next one is you learn about a Python, how to define a variables, data types, like a list tuple, set, dictionary, how to define those things, differences. Okay, operators, arithmetic operator, assignment operators, comparison operators. Okay, that kind of operators, bitwise operators. Okay, operators you learn. Next one you learn about if else if, for while, and how to define a function, how to define a classes. So this is what you learn in the Python. Guys, how much it is there in the Python is not that one. What you learn in the Python, that is important. In a Python, will satisfy OOPS concept, but main importance of OOPS concept is directly satisfying is one is inheritance. The second one is polymorphism. But I will show you only inheritance. I will try to show you only inheritance. Okay. It's a very big one. Super is better. Okay, I will show you a small example for inheritance, then we can complete today. Okay. And this is look good, so I will go to 14 and I will remove this thing. Again, I am defining class A. First class is class A. So define. Already I told now pass. And again, class B. This is two classes. Later I will implement. Okay, later I will implement. So one by one implementation will come up here. Okay, so first of all, I want to implement. So define inet usually your first function. So remove these things and a self. Again, here I put a name and age like that. Of name. Same implementation, or I put a value, b value, small a, small b. Okay, or a x, y, z, w, x, y. You can use like anything. Okay, so here it is. No passing kind of stuff, not required, right? So self dot a equal to a. Next, no, normal a. Use anything. Self dot b is equal to some xyz. Also you can use it. It's just like a defining kind of stuff. Want to give the print statement, that is your completely your wish. Okay, so one I already defined. It's a completed. Okay, it completed. Now we have to create an object. Any name you can put it. I put a p1. Okay, class A. So give the argument for AB parameters 22, 11. Now calling it. Not required. That's enough. So when you passing, automatically it will display this thing because I given a print statement here. Okay. If you look at here, guys, I'm creating P2 A. Okay, and look at C A B. The first one is A, second one is B. Okay. And what is this is my class B. This is my class B, second class. So again, here also define some inet function. So self comma C comma D. Next, again self dot C equal to C. Just for I will show you what is inheritance. That's it for purpose only. I don't do more things because it's already 2 o'clock. Okay, guys. Again, for Monday class, I will inform. We will inform. Mostly, Sai sir will take care of that cloud classes and all. Okay, so on Monday. So class A, AB, class B, CD. Remember what is this? P2 equal to B and give the bracket. See, it is C and D. Okay, C and D, 33, 44. So for example, this is C, this is D. So obviously what I am getting? Class A output, class B output, P1s, this is P2s. So P1 is belongs to class A, P2 is belongs to class B. Okay, guys, understand up to here? Both are separate classes. Both are separate classes. Separate objects. P1 for A, P2 for B. Okay, if still you want to implement the second part like this, print P1 dot A. So when I say P1 dot A or B, P1 dot A, or you can print P2 dot C or D, means CD belongs to B and AB belongs to A, right? So P1 belongs to A, obviously AB. P2 belongs to B, like A, obviously it is CD. Guys, are you understanding this one or not? Otherwise, you can sit and look at here. P1, I said A class. So what are the things defined under A belongs to A, P1. It comes under P1. That is one object. So P2 object is I given to B, and there it is. What are the things I defined under B class? It comes to the P2. So that's why it is P1 dot A. Then this is it. P2 dot C means this is it. Okay. So execute it, and what we will get it like this. Okay. This is A. This is for no one is responding anything. I am connected, disconnected also, I don't know. People are there. At least 11 members are there. Okay. So afternoon I have another class, and you are not speaking anything. I don't know your understanding or not. I can't able to move further. I want to close this one. Guys, I'm going with the inheritance. Simply like this. Simply like this. Look at here, inheritance. So A class properties now come to B. So here it is. I'm defining P3 is equal to B, and now it is showing only C and D. Why it is CND. It is defined only CND here. Now we didn't define a superclass. Okay. Okay. Then mention A comma B. Okay. So now everything comes under this one. So why it is showing like this? Now, if you look at B brackets, now you can see A, B, C, D. A, B is do as per the class A, and CD is belongs to class B. CD is belongs to class B. So you are inheriting AB from class A and CD, which you have a specific properties. So this is called a inheritance. This is called a inheritance. You can mention more parameters 45, 66, 88, 99. So I given A, B, C, D, E, F kind of stuff. Okay. So what is this CD? This is CD 88, 99. Okay. I think we got error. Yeah, we got error because of it is mentioned 4 parameters, but it is given only 2 parameters. We got another error. Yeah, like that. Okay, leave it about it, guys. This is how to mention like this, and no one is speaking. That's I don't understand. So it's okay. No problem. Completed, guys. So we'll meet you later. So I will inform maybe tomorrow or day after tomorrow about a Monday class. Okay. Anything left over in a Python. So one is Flask, another one is web scraping. So I will send a PPT to you. Just read about what is Flask, Django, and web scraping. Okay. Bye bye. I'm stopping recording.